Welcome to Mick and Mike in the Evening. I'm Mick.
And I'm Mike.
And this is our first episode of Mick and Mike in the Evening.
Welcome.
Yes, welcome. I hope you enjoyed this podcast about talking about literally anything.
Mm-hmm.
And today, we have something
very incredible.
Today we're going to be talking about a video that we made recently, actually. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it, Mike?
Yeah, sure. So we were walking around campus. We go to Westfield State University in Westfield, Massachusetts.
Shout out to Westfield State University.
Mm-hmm. And we noticed a poster hanging in one of the buildings that advertised a mobile phone film festival.
Which I thought was really funny because I hadn't heard about it prior to this. But, you know, whenever I see like a film festival thing, I always like want to try it out because obviously I have a background in film.
Right.
So I thought it would be an interesting opportunity to... I've also never like filmed an entire video on a phone before.
Mm-hmm.
I've like filmed stuff with my phone, obviously, like when I'm on like vacation or like taking pictures, but I've never tried an entire video out on my phone. So I thought it would be an interesting way to test the waters out with that, and also like actually make a video again because it's been a really long time since I've made like a narrative video.
Yeah. When I first saw the poster, I completely disregarded it because I have no background in film whatsoever and no editing software and, you know, all that.
But you do have a background in acting.
I suppose so.
You suppose so.
As do you.
I acted in high school, but we also were in a show together when we were at Stick. Shout out to Stick, the better school. But we went to Springfield Technical Community College a couple years ago, and during our last semester there, we took a theater class because we needed some sort of arts class to finish off the major, and we just thought it would be funny, so we went for it. And we actually got like two of the biggest roles in the show.
It was pretty great. It's
called Wit, in case you know anything about like theater. I mean, I'd never heard of it prior to that, but
it's a movie too.
It's also a movie. It's in HBO.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean it's a really interesting story about like a character that's diagnosed with stage 4. It's breast cancer, right?
Yeah, metastatic breast cancer.
Yeah. I knew I wanted to say metastatic, but I didn't want to like show off. I just remember the lines.
Grand rounds.
The term is theirs.
Incredible.
But yeah, we were in that show. I played the head doctor, and he played like was it an intern?
Yeah.
But I think his role was a little bit bigger because he had more lines, but my role was a little bit bigger, both in terms of like substantiality and also in terms of like him being the head doctor. But I didn't have that as many lines, but it was a really fun time. I just, the part wasn't as big as Mike's. Mike's always better than me.
Well, that experience basically taught me everything I need to know about acting.
Yeah, but you're really good at it.
Are you saying I'm fake?
Maybe.
Hey, you gonna come over on Saturday? Well, Mickey, I have to see what's going on.
Which means he doesn't want to come. I have to check my planner. But yeah, no, like, so I knew you were a good actor from that, obviously, and I thought it would be fun to make a video again, because it's been again like the last video that I've uploaded to the channel was the Boys Night music video. Before that, I made like a Christmas video that nobody saw. It's like 50 views, which is like, I usually get at least like a couple hundred, like almost 200 views per video, which is literally nothing.
Right.
I've been on YouTube since 2008. This channel since 2011. And I have a whopping 250 subscribers.
That's more than I have on my channel.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure there's someone who started a channel like 50 minutes ago that has more subscribers than me right now.
Probably. So anyway, we saw the poster and we talked about it. And at first we weren't going to do it.
Yeah.
We thought that it was just kind of silly and it was going to be a lot of work and, whatever.
And it was.
Yeah, it was. It definitely was a lot of work, especially for you because you do all the editing and everything. And I just, I don't do any of that.
Yeah, but you were the main actor.
Yeah, but like, that in my opinion, that is not as adequate as far as effort into the project goes.
I don't know. You have to be there every single day.
Yeah.
Some people that are in it were only there for like 15 minutes.
That's true. But great. Yeah. So we decided to do it after much deliberation. Mickey sent out an email asking the people who were running it, what the prize was going to be and so on. And
it's Owl Bucks, in case you're wondering.
Bucks. You can buy jewels with Owl Bucks.
My favorite thing about that. So Owl Bucks is like the Westfield State currency. I don't know how good the economy is at Westfield State because
the what was that word that kid used? The I don't know, whatever.
I don't know what you're saying.
In Asian studies. Insular economy.
Yo, Josh, what's up?
Hey, Josh.
Come wave at the camera. He's waving from behind the camera.
Okay.
He's using the bathroom right now. Josh is my roommate. We're filming in the living room because you can probably see on the camera, but it's pretty symmetrical.
Yeah. So anyway, there's an insular economy within Westfield State University, and it is dependent on Owl Bucks as the currency.
Oh, when you're talking about the kid in Asian studies that has the giant like vape.
No. The other guy, we were talking about the geisha girls or whatever, and he was like, "Oh, so it seems like there's a very insular economy within." And Dr. Joe was like,
perhaps.
Indeed, I don't know what you're talking about.
But no, I don't like. I think it's really funny because they have like a convenience store that's at Westfield State.
Yep.
We're economics majors, by the way. So I just think it's really funny to compare it because they have like bags of beef jerky that are like 8 something.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, bag of beef jerky is like what, $5?
Yeah, like $5 or $6.
It's at a convenience store, so the prices are already a little inflated.
Right. Well, I think that's just because some kids have no other option, other than to shop there. So they're gonna jack up the price.
Are Owl Bucks 1-to-1? Like, if you put in like $50, do you get 50 Owl Bucks?
I have no idea how that works.
I've
never needed them. I've never purchased them. I've never printed them in my basement. I don't know what the deal is.
I don't think there's a paper version. Would that be really
that would be hilarious. It's like 100 Owl Bucks. It's got like Ramon Torcella's picture on it. And that's the president of the university, by the way. And then like on the back, it's got like the Horace Mann thing.
Oh my god!
Bernie Sanders should live here.
It's like shows up like, I'll take 100 Arizonas, please, and slides in like this is not real. Owl Bucks don't exist. But they the prize for the film festival was Owl Bucks. It doesn't say how many, but I just think it's really funny because I'm imagining all the things that we can buy with Owl Bucks,
which isn't really a whole lot. But
a lot of the restaurants there actually take Owl Bucks, which is kind of funny.
Right.
But the funniest one is there's a Honeyland Farms. It's like another convenience store that as you're like driving towards Westfield State, you can see it. And on the sign, like where they have like the text written out, it's just 2 words. It just says, or I guess 3 words, but it says Jewel Owl Bucks. So I'm assuming that means that you can buy jewels with Owl Bucks.
Yeah, by association, a reasonable person would assume that those two things are somehow related. Incredible.
So I told everybody on the project that I would buy them all Jewel if we win.
I'm holding you to that, by the way.
I'll buy you one.
Thank you.
I have to. I don't know. They haven't responded back about the video, so I'm hoping they actually got it. But other than that, yeah, it was a fun experience. But if we thought that it would be interesting to kind of talk about the process of making a video, because Mike was saying consistently throughout the time about how he was like so amazed with like how the process worked and like watching it all come together, and how like he was so impressed with everything. And I was like, I'm just doing what I've done for like almost 10 years now.
Well, that's why it's so easy for you and why it's so foreign to me. I've literally never been involved with the production of anything like that. And even though it's, a 5-minute video, it's
6 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean. even though it's a short video in the grand scheme of things, it a lot of effort went into producing it and editing it. And I was just very impressed with the amount of effort that you had to put into it in order to make such a good product.
Right. And I appreciate you saying that.
Right. So it's almost like it was set up that way.
Exactly.
It's a segue.
So anyway, before we get into the nitty gritty, before we get into like the actual like subject of like what goes into it and like our experience, just wanted to give a shout out to our potential sponsors, the people that we wish were sponsoring this episode. So anyway, we wish this episode was sponsored by HelloFresh. Save time and frustration and get delicious, healthy, honest meals delivered straight to your door with all the instructions and ingredients prepped and ready to go. Subscribe today at hellofresh.com/Mick and Mike in the morning, and be sure to use the offer code MIKE80 to save $80 off your first month. Is what we wish we could say.
Indeed. We also wish that we could say that this podcast is brought to you by FCP Euro for the widest selection and best prices on the internet for genuine and OEM replacement parts for your European auto. Since 1986, the only vendor with lifetime replacement on all parts, free shipping over $49, and hassle-free returns, fcpeuro.com.
Say bye to the camera, Josh.
See you, Josh.
See you, Josh.
Sick sweatshirt, by the way, Adidas.
I'm wearing Adidas too. Did you see? See all the Adidas I'm wearing?
Adidas.
See, man. He's going to work. He's a busy guy.
Good for him.
Wish I had a job. But yeah, so I think it'd be easier if you kind of tell me about your experience from the video first, and like so we can talk about like the process, like what. I don't know if we want to do like a question and answer thing, like if you want to ask me stuff, or if you want to just like just kind of like free form talk.
What is your name?
Ask me anything. But if you want to do like a free form, just kind of like talk about like your experience with it.
All right. All right. So I obviously have had a little bit of experience acting and like learning how a production in general is put together from WIT, the project. But never anything like this. When I was in like 8th grade, I had a friend who was really into like cinematography, and he went through the process of like making a whole movie with a script and everything, and it was I don't even remember, it was called like Seeker or something like that, and it was supposed to be like a spy movie. And like we were in 8th grade, and like he had like the script, he bought equipment, like he had like a group of kids come around with us to film it with like a boom mic and everything. Like wow. He went all in on this, and good for him. And so I kind of saw how that went together.
Do you think that's like online?
I don't think so. Because I remember vaguely, like after working on it for literally like 3 months, somebody's computer crashed and like we lost almost the whole thing. Aside from like the trailer, which I believe I have on DVD.
Really? Yeah. Was this like before YouTube?
No, definitely not before YouTube, but
you said 8th grade?
Yeah, so it would have been like 2010.
So pretty early on still.
Anyway, it was really funny, but I kind of saw it then, but it didn't really mean as much to me, obviously. And then working on this project, just it was really amazing.
Well, thanks.
Yeah. Well, for such a short video, it really was. It amazed me as to how much work went into it. Even though it was all shot on an iPhone, whatever. Like the miking, like the way that we had to like mic our shirts and everything, so that we could hear vocals, or the way that what is that called when you have to do like the voiceover?
ADR.
ADR. Yeah, I was gonna say ASR. That's incorrect. ADR,
which didn't come out the way I wanted it to.
Yeah, but like it's
tough.
It was good. Right down to like the kind of shots that you had to get. There's a lot of things that you take for granted, that one takes for granted when he or she sees a movie or sees a video. You don't really think about like the amount of effort that went into making it. Right down to getting the different shots. It's just kind of like, oh, well, this is happening and I'm in the moment watching it. Like not really thinking about who made it and how they had to make it and how it was planned out and everything. Like that scene where it's like right near the end where like I have like the end of the breakdown. It's like I just wanted to save money.
We'll link the video, by the way. The video is uploaded but unlisted for the time being for the film festival, but it'll be made public before this podcast goes up, so it'll be linked at the top.
Like that, like actually having to get the separate shots where I'm doing the same thing. So I had to do it multiple times, but like you're standing at a different spot every time.
You mean like when you like fall against the wall?
Yeah, or like when I like come to my knees and I'm like, I just wanted to save money. Like,
oh yeah,
that was like that was really amazing because you don't think about it because you've seen shots like that, you know, in other videos or even in like real movies where they do things like that, and you don't think to yourself, oh, this was filmed multiple times, just because it's so continuous. Just because like the actors are doing the same thing, the same lines are happening. Like it's like, I don't know, just like that shot in particular really stood out to me as like one of those moments where it's like, wow, like this is legit.
And I don't mean to blow your world at the same time. So I mean, like, I think with that too is we're also like low budget, so, and I'm using a phone, so we only have one camera. But on high end projects, they have multiple cameras, like recording the same scene at the same time, so they don't have to do it so many times. But yeah, they definitely do scenes a lot of times just to make sure to get it right.
Right.
But I think like most low budget things, or even some like high end stuff, still use only one camera. There's like a different feel to like one camera shoots.
Yeah.
I think the benefit to having multiple cameras is just, which I wish we had multiple cameras for this, but I only own one camera.
I think it's fine.
We're gonna do a rig eventually with like phones to get like different angles. But we'll do that for probably like the next episode. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so that way we can make another episode. We will, maybe. I also started vlogging once. Remember that? But I'll talk more about the vlog in a second because I have a funny story about that. But the thing with higher end project where you can get different cameras, you can do the same scene but get different shots, obviously.
Right.
But sometimes, for me, like, I don't know, like you just need. If I had a second camera, it would be easier. But I also just like the feel of going through multiple times because it like, it makes you. I feel like you make sure you get like the what you want. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. And also, like, if you have one camera, like, you get to man it the whole time, so you know exactly what you're shooting. You like, there's no, you know, oh, so and so had this camera and they didn't really do it the way that I would have done it. You know, you have control over it, so it's your thing. Another thing that really amazed me over the whole project was like your editing.
Oh, thank you.
And not even just like the fact that you did your editing well. It's just like how much editing could be done on an iPhone camera video.
Oh yeah.
You know, and like the effects that you added afterwards, and like the fan in the beginning, like the helicopter noise slowed down. Yeah. Or like when we're doing the therapist scene and like I come back to reality and it's like that. Oh yeah, that effect, the whoosh noise.
Yeah,
like stuff like that is just so amazing. And like the music, for example, that was really cool too, because like the music fit so like impossibly well with the video. Like right from the beginning to the end, the pieces of the songs that you used were like spot on.
Oh wow, yeah. I mean, that's all classical music, so thanks to Tchaikovsky and Beethoven.
Yeah,
I wasn't gonna use those exact ones, but when I was looking through like the royalty free stuff, those ones came up. I thought that would be really interesting. But yeah, in terms of editing, like I've just been doing editing for, again, like not well, but for like 10 years.
Right.
And I feel like it doesn't really matter what you film with. It matters what editing software you're using. It's like what kind of stuff you can use. I recently switched to Final Cut Pro, which whenever I say that, a lot of like people I used to work with are like, are you kidding me? Because Final Cut used to be the best. Like Final Cut, so it's still like one of the like top editing softwares that people use. But like back in the day, and I don't know like how far back in the day to be honest, but I remember when I was taking digital video classes in high school, they had Final Cut 7.
Right.
And Final Cut 7 was like the industry standard for editing at that time, like whenever it was out. And they and Final Cut's owned by Apple. So Apple, they introduced a lot of their software, both Logic and Final Cut. They decided to kind of like tone back on everything and bring it to make it more accessible, because Apple's always been about making things more accessible.
Right.
So they decided to make Final Cut and then Logic, like which we're using for the podcast right now. But like with Final Cut, they decided to make it more like iMovie, or like Logic, they decided to make it more like GarageBand.
Right.
But they want to make it easier so that people could like pick it up. And that was the problem that a lot of people had with Final Cut X, Pro X, when it first came out, was that it was kind of too dumbed down. They made things a little bit like so simplistic that it was harder to use in some senses. Like one thing that I don't like about Final Cut, for all those editors out there who are interested in this conversation, the timeline is just really weird. Yeah. Whereas like, so I was editing on Adobe Premiere for the last like 5 years prior, and I like having the numbered out, like this is video line number 1, number 2, and then audio line number 1 and number 2, and then, so when you're putting in like your clips, you know exactly what part of the timeline it's in. Where in Final Cut, it just kind of like looks like a jumbled mess of everything laying on top, and there's no like lines dividing everything. It just, you see it, and it's fine when you get used to it, but it's just different. It's just harder to manage sometimes. And then clips like to snap to each other. So if you like, let's say like, oh, this clip was way too long and it's in the timeline, so I want to pull it back like a few seconds, shave that off. The other video will clip back to where that was. You're like, oh no, I wanted that space still to put something else in there.
Right.
Just a lot of things that are like less intuitive than you would imagine.
And it's funny because I know nothing about any of this. My film experience has been through my Google Photos film editor on my phone.
Wait, there's a video editor for Google Photos?
Yeah. It's pretty legit, man. I've made like 20-second clips before.
Really?
And they're sick.
You have to show that to me. I didn't know that. Google Photos editor? Is that like built into Google Photos specifically?
Oh, yeah. You can make like a montage. You can add effects and filters to your pictures.
Maybe I'll switch to that over
Dude,
Final Cut.
Honestly, like
Final Cut's like $300.
They're pretty comparable, and this one was free 50. Like if you go on my Instagram, you'll see one of the videos that I made.
I'll have to check that out.
Oh yeah, you will. Definitely.
You're like inspired by this whole project that you're like, I gotta get into video editing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll make Instagram clips.
Nice.
Cool.
Yo, Instagram's pretty poppin', huh?
Yeah, Instagram's pretty cool. It's definitely where I spend most of my time.
Yeah. You're the one that sends me, like, just every time I get a direct message from Mike, it's just a meme.
Oh, yeah, definitely. There's a lot of... I actually prefer it to any other social media. I haven't been on Facebook in, like, 2 years.
Yeah, I stopped using Facebook once my parents got on. Once like my grandma had Facebook, I'm like, maybe this isn't.
Luckily, I'm not there yet. You know, my family hasn't figured it out. But I don't know. I just don't use it because like I don't really like it.
Yeah. Also, I'm so happy that my parents and my grandma are on Facebook. They have a great time. I just don't like. I don't like the setup anymore.
Nice. Yeah. I don't know. I kind of just keep it because it's like the one last link that I have to a lot of people that I used to know.
Oh yeah, I mean I still use it sometimes to like post, like when I'm uploading like a video or something, I'll still post it there.
Right.
Because I probably have almost 1,000 friends on Facebook now.
Uh-huh. So
like, I mean, even if 3 of them see it, it's still more than if I don't post it there.
Yeah, that's actually so true. So we can promote, for example, this podcast on Facebook. Exactly.
Which very we will. Smart.
We very, will. Very smart.
This will be through a Facebook post. So if you came to this podcast and listened to the like 25-minute mark
Yeah.
from Facebook. Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. We really need viewers like you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Filmed entirely on an iPhone.
But that's the ending of the video. Hope you
Yeah.
watched it. So going back to a thing I said earlier that was funny was when I was talking about vlogging,
Right.
because I tried vlogging once.
Yeah, I remember that vaguely while we were at the ye old stick.
Yeah. The first one was more like just like montagey, more like just ridiculous things. It was kind of a way for me to kind of like talk about how like I do fun things sometimes and
Right.
like just like upload that, because like I feel like I stopped making YouTube videos for a while. This one that I just uploaded, like I said, it was like the first narrative thing that I've done in probably like 4 years.
Right.
And
Well, you've been pretty busy in that time, so
probably, yeah, probably busy.
probably definitely.
It's also harder to make videos because you need so many people to make it good. Like a good video requires a good amount of actors, so it doesn't have the same person doing everything.
Right.
And that was nice about this one, is that we had like 5 or 6 people acting in it, so it
Right.
felt more realistic. But kind of like how we're trying this podcast thing, because it's really easy to make long content, and it's like can be really, I really like podcasts, so I thought it would be really interesting to give it a shot.
Yeah.
I did the same thing with vlogging, because vlogging was really popular. I think it still is, but like, you know, there was a time where everyone was vlogging on YouTube.
Right.
And I wanted to give it a shot. But that, like I said, that first one was more like montagey, and then the second one I tried to give it a purpose, because I'm like, I should try something. And I talked about like traveling. So I had like videos of like places that Britt and I had gone. And people didn't like that one, I don't think. I didn't want to, you have to travel.
Right.
I don't care if you don't have enough money. Go somewhere. I don't know if people
Right.
thought I was like talking down to them or something. Also, probably people just don't care about vlogs that much. When
That's-
it's from,
yeah,
it's
that's
from a
true.
nobody. Nobody cares about me.
Yeah.
Thanks, YouTube.
Pretty much.
But I never made a third one. I had plans to make a third one. It was when Britt and I went to Canada, and I filmed a lot. And that was in 2017, so clearly
Right.
it's been a while. And then I was going to do another one when I went to Florida with Alex, when we drove down, because he moved to Florida. Shout out to Alex Torres if you're listening to the podcast. I love you, and you're great, and you're doing great things.
And you have a cool Miata.
And I'm really sorry I haven't edited the vlog yet, because it's been like almost a year.
Yikes.
I'm going to do it.
Oof.
But he's like, why are you making a podcast? We should be editing that video.
Yeah, exactly.
But I will get back to those eventually, and probably do some kind of like long-term, like long-ended like vloggers. Just like some kind of like montage of all the cool things I saw there. Because I have a lot of cool videos of seeing like Niagara Falls and stuff, which was really cool. But I want to get back to that at some point. But
Right.
if you like those vlogs, let me know in the description. Let me know in the comment section below. I'll write in the description. Let me know.
Also, start a fight in the comments section.
Who's better, Chuck E. Cheese or Tony the Tiger? Let me know in the comment section.
Incredible. So, yeah, back to our little video project. Just to kind of like consolidate. I think that we have a pretty good chance at winning this contest.
You think so?
I do. I think so. I have a feeling that even though there are like film students at Westfield State, like photography students that dabble in film.
I'm pretty sure there is a film program.
Is there really?
I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to look it up, but
it would be in like communications probably. I have a feeling like video production or something like that.
Something like that.
But
they have a studio.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just feel like the fact that it has to be cell phone video is what kind of sets it apart. Because if it was just a film festival, I don't think that we'd probably do so well, because I'm sure that there are people that have done projects and things for their major that are longer, that are, whatever. But the fact that this is a cell phone video contest only kind of changes the game a little bit.
Yeah, and for people who don't know, I did go to film school for like 6 months.
I did not go to film school at any point in my life.
Yeah, I went to Full Sail. Don't want to talk bad about Full Sail because I know people who have gone and had a really good experience. I also know a lot of people who went and had a really bad experience. That's me. But the school was fine. It's just like I think I realized going to film school that I wasn't into the business side of it. Right. I wasn't into the industry side.
Right.
And I liked making videos for fun with friends. It wasn't something I wanted to do as a career for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I always have that problem with like hobbies. I put a lot of time into them. And then, because a lot of people put time into hobbies because they want to make money off them eventually.
Right.
But instead, I just have fun doing stuff like making that album.
Yeah.
And making music videos and stuff like that. Like, I have fun with that.
Yeah, and then once you try to take that and either turn it into a career or something like that, it kind of like compromises.
Yeah.
You know, it ruins the feel of it for you.
And not to say that I haven't like done stuff to make money and that, like, I mean, currently I work at the local TV station in Chicopee.
Right.
So, I mean, I still do stuff with like cameras, and it's more TV than film, but like they're so related.
Yeah, but like it's not for fun.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, I learned something, and I feel like a lot of what I learned came mostly from just doing it for so long, rather than I learned a lot like of specifics at Full Sail that I think I still use today.
Right.
And I learned a lot about film history when I was at I took like one film history class, I said, but
I'm an expert on film history.
I'm not an expert by any means, but I like old movies sometimes.
Yeah, me too.
But going to film school has definitely helped. I'm glad I did it because then I knew that like, this is when I don't want to do this as a career, but I do really enjoy making stuff. So it helped hone my filmmaking skills in the sense of like I have a better knowledge of the process.
Mm-hmm.
I have a better knowledge of like, you know, I took classes on like audio, took classes on, I don't know if I got to the video editing classes per se yet, but like just like lighting was really important. Like I learned a lot in lighting, I learned a lot in audio, and those kind of came together to make help my projects come out a lot better. But I just don't have the money to invest in like all this stuff because it's so expensive. The most expensive thing I have is the camera that I'm using to film this right now, and I'm glad that I got it, but also I filmed the entire video with my phone, and now I wonder if I really should have gotten it.
Yeah, just judging by how good it came out.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of positives using a camera that uses lenses over like a cell phone.
Yeah,
but
of course.
It's like the little things. If you know what you're using, like I always say, like if you, like people who buy like really expensive cameras,
right?
Sometimes like who don't like people who buy those who don't like really even know how to use them yet.
Yeah.
It's like, what's the point? Like you can, if you're just trying to learn how to use a camera, unless you're trying to get into using lenses and then like buy like a cheap like DSLR or something, but like buy things cheaper when you're learning, so that way you have time to like figure things out, because then when you need the upgraded item, then you buy it. That's why it took me until like 2018 to buy like a camera that was over $1,000.
Right.
Flex.
And also, if you have a dream, don't forget to chase the dream.
Reach for the stars, because at least you land in the sky. Is that how it's said? No.
No,
I know the actual thing. I just thought it was, but
it is funny.
Go to the moon,
and then don't,
and then tell everybody like, see, it was possible. The Earth isn't flat. I can see it. All you flat earthers out there who are listening to the podcast, stop listening to the podcast.
And anti-vax moms as well.
Yeah, vax your kids.
You're banned from the podcast.
Vaccinate your kids. It's not just about you. It's about the people they can infect.
Incredible.
Anyway, now that we took really harsh political stances.
And now we're going to read you a piece of the Communist Manifesto.
No, we're not.
The NRA Handbook. All right.
Let's stop getting political. We're like borderline. We're like, people are like, am I going to stop listening soon if they say one more thing?
Incredible.
I don't know about those guys.
Yeah,
I was really enjoying their talk about film, but now that they're talking about politics.
All right. Well, that's thinning the herd, right? we don't want too many subscribers.
I mean, who even is listening at the 35-minute mark at this point?
Probably just Laura.
Maybe Britt.
Yeah.
That's it. Shout out to Britt and Laura for listening to us.
Yeah. If you're driving to work right now at Cooley Dickinson, like,
keep it up.
yeah, be safe.
It's a long drive.
It's a lot of miles. It's a long road.
But yeah, so you're talking about like how amazed you were like with the process and stuff like that. Is there anything else that you wanted to like add in there?
I mean, I don't know. I think I said my piece on it, but I just like really, it opened my eyes to how much work went into the project and like how long you spent doing the editing and things like that. You were sending me updates along the way and everything, and I was just at home doing whatever, and I was like, wow, he's he's working really hard on this. And like the fact that the project was due on a Friday and we started it on a Sunday.
Yeah. It was a tight end. That's why I feel like there's a few things that I wish were a little better.
Right.
But also like with a short time frame like that, with a scripted project, it was pretty impressive.
Yeah. So I was definitely very impressed with that, because I wouldn't have thought that we could have pulled together something so like so professional looking.
Oh, thanks.
In
relative.
Yeah. Well, relative to the time frame and to the fact that it's cell phone video. I don't know. I was just really impressed with that. The whole process, really.
Yeah, I was really happy with it, to be honest. Like, I think it's one of my favorite projects because of the time frame. The subject matter was really funny. In case you've gotten this far to us talking about it and you don't know what it's about. Yeah. Just the concept of like, we did like a Twilight Zone-y kind of thing. Right. That was the inspiration. Right. If you didn't get that, I'm worried that sometimes some people might think it's like us making like a stance about Westfield. Because it's about like a commuter being ignored, which, it's just more of a joke than anything. Right. Yeah. So we just thought it'd be funny. We hope they don't take it too seriously, but I thought it was a really funny idea just to have it to like get it more and more absurd as it goes, where the first one is the person just like walks away slowly. But then, like, the last one, like, the person, like, disappears and the door's closing, which I thought was very cartoonish. Like, that was really funny. Yeah, that was good. So, I thought that was, like, a really funny idea. So, I liked the writing. I liked the process, and it was really fun working with, like, it was one of the first, like, narrative things I worked with Lav Mike, so that was cool. But, yeah, I'm you saying, like, the whole, like, Snapchat thing. I don't know if I got too far away from, like, when I was talking there. But, I thought it was funny, like, sending you, like, Snapchat updates of everything. Right. I still use Snapchat. I know, like, most people have switched over to Instagram, but I still really like Snapchat. I own stock in Snapchat. I have one stock in Snapchat. I'm still holding on. I think it's gonna have a comeback. It will. Don't worry. But I thought that was funny because Snapchat. I have a thing with Snapchat. A thing with Snapchat. No, we go way back. I really like Snapchat because it was the first like social media thing that got me back into filming dumb clips. Yeah. Because it was like that's what I was doing for like most of that period, like where I wasn't filming videos, as I was filming dumb Snapchat videos. Right. Mostly with you at Stick. And that's another compilation that I want to make eventually, is all the dumb Snapchats from Stick. Yeah, I think right around that time, like in mid 2016, I started saving every single Snapchat video that I take. So like sometimes like I'll get those, like, because now Snapchat does like memories, like where it shows you like snaps you sent on that day. Right, like 2 years ago or whatever. So like now mine are like, I get one of them every day now. Yeah. So it's nice because it's like now I'm actually like seeing those videos and I'm reminded of the funny ones that we've made. And I'm reminded of the good times and how simple life was. Back in the day. If I only I could go back. But yeah. But no, I really enjoy looking back at those, and I want to make a compilation because we had some really funny ones in that office. Because we used to have an office. We were in student government when we were at Stick. So we did a lot of really stupid videos in that office. Yeah. Most of them being us just calling each other from the phones in the same office. Because like you could do that. And bags of water. Bags of water,
And
bags
that
of
then
ice.
turned into bags of ice when we left them in the freezer over the weekend. And then the one that had like the candy cane in it.
Oh my god, the bags
Christmas
of
water.
the bags of water was probably one of the dumbest but funniest ones that we
Absolutely.
did.
Yeah, it was very absurd.
We literally just took. They had like a bunch of extra plastic bags from some kind of event that they were doing at Stick, so we just filled them with water, and we just started going up like, anybody want a bottle? Anyone want a bag of water?
It's a new thing. It's more sustainable than a bottle.
And the latest
whatever.
technology.
Yeah, all the latest technology. Yeah.
It's the coolest thing.
Yeah.
But
It didn't catch on.
no one else thought it was funny.
No.
You probably don't even think it's funny.
Yeah.
But I still think it's funny.
It's a very it's a special sense of humor, you know.
Once I make the compilation in 3 years, because that's my track record for making videos,
Right.
then you'll be able to see what we're talking about, and it'll be linked in here. I'll go back and I'll link the video.
Oh boy.
So hopefully it's sooner than later. But Snapchat was like that app that like it got me back into making videos, and like
Right.
making all those Snapchat videos made me want to like go back and start like making videos again, and here we are. It only took 3 years.
Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad. But yeah, so I'm excited for this video. I'm excited to see what what the outcome's going to be. We're definitely going to go to the film fest and check it out and walk down the red carpet.
Get all decked out. We're gonna dress up in like full like 6-piece
That
suits.
would be so cool. Like with top hats and canes.
Yeah, top hats, cane.
Pipes.
Because a 3-piece suit is when you have the vest.
Yeah.
4-piece suit is when you have the hat. 5 pieces when you have the cane.
Right.
And 6 pieces when you have the pocket watch. Right?
Is that how it goes?
I'm just making this up.
I like that though. That's good.
Yeah.
Because those are the essential elements to gentlemanliness.
We just need a curled mustache.
Curled mustaches. Yeah.
But then it gets weird once you add the mustache. So maybe not the mustache.
Yeah. I definitely can't grow a mustache in the time that it's gonna take as well.
You should try.
No.
I will get you a fake one.
Yeah, that'd be even funnier, man. Can you imagine?
If it's like extra fake.
Yeah, it's like extremely. It's the glasses with the nose and the mustache. It's the best we could do with what we had.
With all of our resources.
Now all of China knows you are here.
Shout out to Mulan.
All right.
I just bumped into the mic. But yeah,
Wait, I'm way over here.
speaking about Mulan, why don't we talk about some of our favorite movies?
Yeah, absolutely.
Give me your top 3 favorite movies, and then
boy.
I'll try my best to do the same thing.
They're not going to be in any particular order because I think that's a very objective question for me, and like it's too objective.
Yes.
I can't rate my top 3 favorite movies, but I can give you 3 of my favorite movies that I like equally.
Okay.
I would say my first would be Titanic.
Like the James Cameron Titanic, or like the animation.
No, definitely the James Cameron. Yeah.
I was only kidding. I knew it was the James Cameron.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No. I definitely like Titanic. It's a classic. For me, a modern classic.
It's so long.
It is so long, but between switching VHS tapes, like you have time to make popcorn, go to the bathroom, whatever you need.
Great.
Yeah.
It's the perfect movie.
Definitely. I would say probably my second. Oh man. Maybe like Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump is really good.
I like Forrest Gump. I like the references, like just having like come this far in my education and like knowing like history and like the references are just so clever.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything is just so clever in that movie. So I really appreciate that, and I love Tom Hanks.
Oh, he's great.
So, and then, oh man. I don't know. For a third one, I might go with like a film noir, like a good old black and white film.
Mm.
I really like the movie Roman Holiday.
I've never seen that one.
It's Gregory Peck and Audrey Hepburn, and it's just that movie is incredible. It's a great movie. It's kind of like simple. The whole premise is like it's a I think it's like the Princess of England or whatever is on vacation in Rome, and she's sick of like the royal lifestyle and having to be proper all the time and whatever, and so she escapes from the like hotel or whatever that they're staying at and spends a weekend with Gregory Peck, who's like a struggling journalist.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like if you're watching it by like today's standards, like a lot of people probably wouldn't like it because it's kind of like slow. But I genuinely like the story concept, and I think it's well made. And I also really like both of those actors.
Mm.
Um,
That's one that I've definitely heard the name. I'll probably have to watch it.
Yeah.
You know what I'll do? I'll do two movies that that I really like that are up there, and then I'll do a classic movie that I really like.
All right, yeah, cool.
Because
cool.
I have a really hard time picking favorites too.
Yeah.
And these might not even be like my all-time favorite movies, but they're ones that like come to the top of my head.
Yeah,
like, when I think of good movies.
That's kind of what I went with too.
My favorite, I think like unanimously my favorite. And it's tough because it's like more like it's hard to pick comedies as like a favorite, but still like Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Oh yeah, good.
It's still like one of my favorites.
Definitely.
It's definitely Monty Python definitely influenced a lot of my humor.
Yeah.
After seeing them for the first time.
I can agree with that.
Mm-hmm. And going along with that is Flying Circus, which I think we should watch an episode of it after this podcast.
Sure.
I have the entire box set, which was given to me very graciously for a Christmas gift, and it's the best thing I've ever gotten for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not the best thing because I've gotten some really great things, but it's one of my favorite things that I've gotten for Christmas. Just because it's so rare,
right?
It's having like the entire Flying Circus on DVD, and they're really funny. They hold up very well. Maybe some people disagree, but I think they hold up very well.
I like it. I think that's a comedy that was way ahead of its time.
Absolutely. So Holy Grail is one of my favorites. One of my favorite like narrative films.
Yeah.
In recent history is Whiplash.
Oh yeah.
Whiplash is such a good movie.
Excellent. Yeah.
There's something about when I remember seeing that for the first time. It like I was like, wow, this is like it's a really, really like creative way of telling a story.
Right.
Showing like I don't want to get too much into like showing the anguish of him as a drummer.
Right.
But like it's just like the struggle, and then like J.K. Simmons just does a phenomenal job in that
absolutely.
movie. He's like absolutely incredible.
I love that movie.
And then an old movie that I like, and this isn't my favorite old movie either, but this one is just like I remember seeing this one too, where it's like it always stuck with me. Like that was a good movie. It was Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Oh yeah, nice.
That's
cool.
It's a great spaghetti western.
Spaghetti western,
which is a real term.
Film school, film history.
They're called spaghetti westerns because it's a little racist actually, but it's spaghetti western because they were westerns that were filmed in Italy, because at the time it was like really cheap to film like westerns. It was like
nice.
It was after like the big western craze of like the 30s and 40s and such. I don't remember what the western craze was, but like probably the 40s more than anything. But like in the 60s, and then like late 60s, early 70s, they started filming them in Italy. That's where they got the name.
That's interesting.
It's really good. Paul Newman, pretty great.
Yep, he has good popcorn too.
Robert Redford.
Yeah, good. Yeah, Robert Redford makes some really good movies.
Yeah, and then Paul Newman made some really good popcorn.
Yeah, and also salad dressing.
Oh yeah. And have you ever had his oven baked pizzas?
I actually haven't, but they sound like they'd pair really well with.
How about his garden salsa?
I was gonna say his iced tea probably goes well with all of those things.
Wait, it's iced tea?
Yeah,
he makes iced tea too.
He does. Yeah.
Paul Newman makes everything.
Paul Newman.
And all the profits go to charity.
Do they really?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. He passed away recently.
Yeah,
he's a great guy.
I knew that. He was in Cars, wasn't he? He voiced the blue Hudson Hornet, whatever.
Did he?
Yeah, I think so. I think that was literally one of his last movies.
Like the original Cars or like Cars 2?
I think the original Cars. Yeah, I don't think he was around for Cars 2.
It's been a really long time since I've seen the original Cars.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah,
it is.
Let's watch that one later too.
Maybe.
Perhaps. But yeah, that's like one of my favorite older movies. And that's not even that old.
No, it's like what, the 70s maybe?
Or it's like late 60s.
Late 60s, yeah.
So like I'm trying to think of like a really, really old movie. I just started watching Fistful of Dollars for the first time recently.
Oh, that's cool. What's that?
That's the first movie in the trilogy that has like the good, the bad, the ugly.
Oh, cool.
It's like Fistful of Dollars. I forgot the second one. It's like more related to Fist and Dollars. And then the third one.
It's about a boxer who makes a lot of money on the stock market.
Everyone knows Clint Eastwood and westerns and everything.
Definitely. I also like man, I hate picking top 3 of anything.
Yeah, me too.
Because right now, as we started talking and thinking, I really wish I could have incorporated The Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, that's a great movie.
I love that movie. I do. I love that movie. I must have watched that like at least 20 times. No joke.
You really like Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, he's in Titanic too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Titanic 2, the sequel. I love that movie. Yo, the ship comes back.
You know, there might be one of those.
Wait, really?
Yeah, there some guy in England right now as we speak is building a full-scale, full-on replica of the Titanic, except this time it's going to have enough lifeboats for everybody, and it'll also have like radar and stuff that they didn't have back then.
Are they going to do the same path, or are they going to like cross?
They actually are. They're going to do the exact same route from, I think, Manchester to New York.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to do it in April. I don't think this April. I don't think it's ready, but soon.
Yeah.
I remember seeing something about this on YouTube. And it's like they're going all out. It's going to be an exact replica.
They're going to get the original
the original
captain.
They're going to get the original iceberg and yeah.
And they're going to shove it. They're going to go right into the iceberg.
Yeah. Titanic 2 now with reinforced hull. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, do you think maybe like there aren't as many icebergs now, so it won't be as big of a problem?
I think the icebergs now are harder than the icebergs that there were back then.
I know, they had to survive like global warming and everything, so they're tougher, you know.
Exactly.
Thicker skin iceberg.
Skin, yeah.
So it might be tougher.
You know that picture that like might have been, may or may not have been hanging in your elementary school cafeteria where it's like, blah, 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 the power within, it's like the little iceberg, and then like you see underneath like the huge piece of iceberg underneath the ocean.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, but no,
Yeah.
I didn't have that in my elementary school, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be those. It's gonna be one of those.
I think so.
Icebergs are so weird.
Are we getting into iceberg comedy now? Yo, icebergs are so weird. Icebergs, like the iceberg lettuce.
Iceberg, yeah. Right.
Iceberg anything is weird. That was probably a bad joke.
No, but like really, I mean, we are getting in on the time, but I would just like to say
in with the times, you know what I mean?
Shout out to Icebergs for being arguably the weirdest thing
ever.
Yeah, I mean,
taking
really,
ships down.
Think about the concept of an iceberg. It's just like a big chunk of ice
that just refuses to melt.
And it's just floating. You know, it's like when you have like a little bit of water left in your cup, and there's one ice cube left, and like you're watching it dwindle down.
Can you consider ice cubes icebergs?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are they just small icebergs?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Why not?
Wow.
I mean, why not?
We should this should be a thing.
Absolutely.
Like next time we go out for
be like, can I have iceberg water with lemon?
They're like, what? Oh, you know how you I call ice cubes icebergs because they're practically the same thing.
Yeah, they're like, do you want ice in that? I'm like, yeah, I'll take some icebergs.
What was that?
You know, the lettuce.
Oh. It's better than the romaine kind.
Yeah, definitely.
Is that still a problem?
I don't think so. I think we're past that.
I was at Aldi's yesterday grocery shopping.
Yeah.
Shout out to Aldi's.
Yeah.
Sponsor us.
I think that was like the anti-vax farmers, you know, making the romaine lettuce.
Well, wasn't it E. coli that was in the ice? What was it?
I actually don't know.
I thought that's
salmonella maybe.
I thought
like that.
I swear it was
mad cow disease. Don't eat the romaine; it's got mad cow disease.
remember that? What was the swine flu?
Swine flu.
The romaine lettuce has swine flu. I repeat, the romaine lettuce has swine flu.
Stop eating it. What did like vegetarians or like vegans do for that month when romaine was deadly?
They ate iceberg lettuce.
Nice. Incredible.
Good one.
Where's iceberg lettuce from?
Iceland.
Exactly.
I have no idea what makes.
I was gonna say maybe like the North Pole.
I don't know what the difference between different types of lettuce are. I just know that sometimes I accidentally buy cabbage when I try to buy lettuce. Is cabbage like a kind of lettuce?
Should cabbage be illegal?
Ask us next time. Should cabbage be illegal?
Start a fight in the comments.
That'll be right after you're done talking about the difference. If you think that Tony the Tiger or Chuck E. Cheese are better, let us know if you think that cabbage should be legal or not.
Yeah.
I don't know, because like we did that last time on that trip that I went to Florida with Alex.
Yeah.
We made sandwiches for the road so we didn't have to stop as much.
Right.
And we accidentally bought cabbage instead of lettuce, so that we put cabbage on the sandwiches.
Oh, nice.
It was definitely different.
And so then you were actually like violating a federal crime at that point.
Yeah, because we're crossing border.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're also political science majors.
That's not a joke. It's funny how like now we're on like 55 minutes of podcast, and like now it's funny, and now it's entertaining.
Do you think it wasn't entertaining before?
I think it was less entertaining before.
I don't know. You can tell us in the comments below. Were we not entertaining before?
Start a fight in the comments below. Try to comment entertainment letter by letter. Comment classic comedy letter by letter.
Let us know what it spells out.
Right.
All right. Well, yeah, I think that's good for this first episode. I think we covered a lot talking about the process of making a video.
Yeah, talked about
films that we liked and what's up with icebergs.
Should cabbage be illegal?
Are Ice Cube's icebergs?
Is Ice Cube an iceberg?
Yeah, let us know in the comments down below. Are Ice Cube's icebergs? I really want to know. I'm gonna look this up.
I think so.
Well, anyway, thanks again for tuning in to Mick and Mike in the evening. We hope that you enjoyed this hour-long content.
Mm-hmm.
We hope that you continue to support us.
We hope that we continue to support us.
Yes. We hope that you continue watching to the next episode, which will be linked at the end once it's uploaded.
And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this podcast with your mates.
All your friends.
Unless you don't have any.
All your icebergs.
In which case you can share it with your parents. If you don't have any of those, you could share it with your children. If you don't have any of those, I guess just
post
it
on
tuned.
your Facebook page. If you don't have one of those, post it on your Instagram page. Everyone's got one of those. But yeah, thanks again for tuning in, and we will see you guys next time.
All right.
Do we have like a
outro?
Should we have like a
it's been fun, it's been real, but it hasn't been real fun?
Yeah, it's been fun.
Oh no, it's been real.
It's been real.
It's been fun.
But it hasn't been real fun.
Right.
Thanks. See you guys. Let's try it again. Let's try it one more time.
All right, ready?
All right. It's been real.
It's been fun.
But it hasn't been real fun. See you guys later.
See ya.